I think definitely got to work on some stuff at training. It's been too many consistent games of giving up so many goals, so hopefully we can get back to the basics and not giving up that many goals. It's great that we're scoring and creating opportunities, but if we get scored on, we're going to end up tying or losing. So it's just, getting back to the basics.
Yeah, totally agree with that. A little bit of a wake-up call. But I think it showed the character of the group to fight back over and over, but it's getting frustrating.
It's a lot of
having to do that.
Casey, I wanted to ask you a little about, not that this implies that your energy in the games we've seen you play in the past has been less, but it seemed like tonight you were very much like, we're not settling for a defeat. What fed into that? I mean, it's got to be tricky to do that when you're also on a minutes cap, having been out for a little while. I'm just wondering what maybe went into that.
Just knowing like my role tonight was going to be, coming in at some point. Just trying to bring the energy to fight back. But yeah, hopefully I can do that every time, not just one time.
I say you do. Yes.
All right, we go Brian and then Roy.
Thanks for speaking with us. So obviously we have to talk about the goal. A defender link up. Obviously, do you guys just think like, hey, we have to take this into our own hands? Gotta get this goal.
She's the assist queen every week. Let's go. No, as soon as I saw
assist
her
the week
go,
last week, and you won that again this week. It was a
Yeah.
great cross and a great
it
header.
was. As soon
Thank
as I
you.
saw her going, I was like, oh, we're getting in the box. Let's go.
Get in the box.
Yeah.
I think, we were losing. So it's like anything to help the team get a goal and get forward. And, we talk about all the time, like, pass and run. So as I was passing it to Gabby in my head, I was like, pass and run. So I just started running and then, put it in the box in case he was there. Great header.
Put it on a platter, sis.
It's been a few games without a clean sheet now. Obviously, that must be frustrating as defenders. Is that something that, you're obviously working on that in training and stuff, but what's the mentality with that? It's like you have a great back line, and it just seems to be maybe lapses in judgment and timing and concentration, maybe.
Yeah, I think just being locked in as a whole team the whole time. There were some times when we turned off and we're walking back and they were able to counter. So we know that, that can't happen really going forward, and just being together as a team, whether we're in high press, in block, just staying together and knowing what our position is and what our role is in that moment.
Thank you.
All right, Roy.
Thank you both. Tara, I want to start with you. Just thinking about having Casey on in the second half, it seemed like a lot changed, at least defensively. More broadly, you guys were able to limit the number of shots and chances that Utah had. How important was it to have Casey back, and how did that affect you guys? Even just in terms of communicating and sort of working together as a back line.
Yeah, I'm glad that she's back from injury. It's been a long road for her, so I'm just happy that she's able to be on the field and get minutes. I love playing besides her and, the whole back line. I feel like when we hit halftime, we knew something needed to change, but it was more so just as a team and, like I said, knowing your roles locked in defensively, and I feel like going into the second half, the whole team was able to do that a little bit better.
And then, Casey, you had 45 minutes to watch what happened, and then we talk it over at halftime. When you were coming on, what did you see as sort of the main things that you needed to do to help the team, lock things down a bit?
I think one big thing that we talked about was just being on the front foot and changing our press, being a little bit more aggressive, and I think that changed things dramatically and created a lot more chances for us as well.
All right, any more from the room before we go to Jason? Andre?
Thanks for speaking with us, and congrats on the goal, Casey. Congrats on the assist, Tara. We talked to Jonah, and he was talking about trying to speak the same language on the team and in organization. What does that necessarily mean to you, especially as well as defensive unit, trying to find a way to kind of stop the goals that have been coming recently?
Yeah, I think it's just everyone being on the same page and knowing we don't want them to cross. If they do cross, what your position is in the box, if you're marking, if you're zonal. So just like knowing those roles and like speak the same language is just like knowing what the person in front of you is going to do. So then you know, like we all have a specific role and we have to do those to the best of our ability, which we fell short of tonight.
Yeah, I think you said that perfectly. Just like filling in the gaps, knowing, which roles are filled by which people, no matter what.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, and Jose, and then we'll wrap with Jason. Gotcha.
I mean, this can go for both of you guys because you're both defenders. It's another game where you guys can allow the visiting team to score first. How frustrating has that gotten for you guys, and where do you feel is it what you kind of mentioned earlier, those momentary lapses that are causing that to continue, or is there something else that we're not noticing?
Yeah, we got some things to figure out, I guess. I think
Yeah.
a little bit of unluckiness, a little bit of organizational issues, but gives us an opportunity to clean it up for next week.
All right, and then Jason, wrap us up.
Tara, I wanted to ask about their first goal, and maybe it wasn't just that goal. It was, I think, 3 or 4 times in the first few minutes. It was like they'd pull the shape over to one side, play the long diagonal, and then Thompson would come from right back, and all of a sudden it would be her running in a ton of space. What did you see in terms of that dynamic repeating itself, and then how did the group sort of solve it? And that I think after like 25, 30 minutes, it stopped happening.
Yeah, well, we know that we have to keep it to like one side. So when they are on the right side, either keep the play there or end it there. And then when they do switch it, it's getting the numbers behind the ball. Like we're not just running straight out, we're running diagonally back. So everyone's back in position. And when they do either cross or shoot, like we're there for the rebound or to block the cross.
And last one is maybe there's a mentality with the group. This has gone on for a while, I would say, past seasons as well, where maybe at the start of games it's not that great, or it's great in moments and then it fades in moments. But then the last 15 minutes, like tonight, for example, it just seems like the Spirit always kind of find a goal or find something. How do you find maybe the middle ground where that last 15 can be ported over and be there right at the start?
Yeah, it's frustrating because we've been working on that. So I don't know. I think it's part to do with like mentality, just going into the game. We got a lot of chances in the beginning of the game, and maybe when we didn't put those away, we kind of turned off and thought they were going to come, but we still have to be locked in defensively no matter what. And then I think that's like when our mentality does come out, is towards the end of the game when we are losing and we're like, oh crap, like we actually might lose this game, so let's not do that. I think we have to start the game like that, and knowing that like any team in this league can score and can transition well, so being locked in from start.